Hi everyone, I'm EvilASV, and today we are taking a look at the Eurofighter Typhoon HMD helmet mounted display. Um, we are calling this HMD, not HMS. That means helmet mounted system, because actually in the game we can't recreate the full features that the real Eurofighter helmet can do. In the real Eurofighter is a little bit crazy, the amount of things that you can do with the helmet. It's a bit futuristic, like the case of almost the Scorpion of the A10, or better to say the F-35. But in DCS we have implemented just an HMD that is really useful for maybe navigation, but the best use is for dogfights. So without further ado, let's get started. So now that we are in the cockpit, the first of all that we are going to do in order to use the HMD of the Eurofighter is press the key number 5 in your keyboard. That is the default key for the HMD. I will perform a bit of a kind of a dogfight against the AI. The AI in DCS is not the best dogfighter, but it's just for show the capabilities of the HMD. As you can see, my tracker is kind of taking. Sorry, I don't have the best setup right now. I will do this in VR, but just to make it with better graphics, and you can see well the HMD. I will try to record this with the track IR. So I will do a dogfight with a Sukhoi 30. Also, I recommend this mod. It's a really great mod. You can check it out. Well, what I'm going to do is press the number 5, and I will change automatically to an air-to-air mode with the HMD. In this mode, it's like the Sukhoi, okay, but I can actually lock my target looking at them. But I have some information that I will show to you in a second. Now that we are in the air-to-air mode with the HMD, we can see here the information that we have. We have at our left our mag speed, and our right our air speed. In the center we have a circle, that means where is our reticle looking at now. When we have a lock, this circle will be in the enemy aircraft. And then we have this cross over here. This cross is really useful when you, for example, are doing any kind of dogfights with the cannon, because you can lock a target with the cannon. When you have the cannon selected, you can lock a target using the HMD, like a normal try to lock a target with Fox2. I will do these two examples. First of all, let's do the Fox2 lock, and then the cannon lock. And now we have a cross. This cross means our limit of the HMD. Sorry, not really of the HMD, of our missile, or broadside missile. Actually, we can't change this because it's using the default Sukhoi limits. You can see that it's around here. It's, I think, 30 degrees, 27 degrees, something like that. It applies to all axes of the aircraft, but it's really useful. You get more advantage with the HMD. And the last thing that we have is here our altitude in feet. In the future, maybe we add more features in this helmet. We try to recreate the real HMD of the Eurofighter, more or less. You can see, for example, on the heat blur trailer of the Eurofighter, how it more or less how it looks. It's quite similar, but for now it works. So I will pause and do a dogfight. So one of the things that I want to say about the Eurofighter, check the last update that we have, the 1.0.5. Now we have our almost our finished SFM flight model. With this flight model, the turn rate of the Eurofighter is kind of crazy when you are around 35 knots to 26 knots. So I highly recommend you to make a merge like now that I have around 30 knots. And bleed your speed below. Don't gain speed because it will turn less. So let's keep with this. Okay, now I have the target in front of me. Just I have to press the enter button, the lock button, and I will have the lock. Now I have the lock. As you can see, now our circle is over the enemy. That means that we have locked the target, and we have our launch authorization of our IRIS-T, as I explained in other tutorials how the weapons lock works. So you can just shoot, and that missile fails. Oops, that missile also fails. Well, now I want to show you the cannon, how a trick with the HMD. As you can see right now, I don't have our enemy lock because I changed to the cannon. By default is pressing the letter C, your key. With the cannon, you don't have this kind of reticle, the circle, but it works the same. If I move to my target and press enter, I will lock my target, and I don't have this kind of snake. So let's unpass, and I'm going to press the enter, and as you can see, when I press the enter, I have the lock on the cannon. I have my circle over here, that is our enemy, and the reticle is not the snake, it's a cross that indicates or better suit to our target. And as you can see, that works like a normal cannon. You have the cross, and you have to put the enemy over the cross, and you can kill him. Right now I don't have ammo, it's just to show you how it works. So that is the tutorial. It's really simple. Just press the number 5, look at your target, press enter, and with the cannon it's the same. Don't worry if you don't have the reticle, as I saw. Just look with the cross to your enemy, press enter, and you also will have the lock over your target. It's really simple and really easy to use, and you have a big advantage with this feature of the Eurofighter, because maybe your enemy can win you in the one circle in a dogfight, but with the HMD you will be the first one shooting a missile over him. So that is all the tutorial. Thanks all of you for watching. The next update of the Eurofighter, I wish that we have more features to show to you, not just the flight model. We are right now pretty happy with the flight model. We are you can check in internet, Wikipedia, or if you have any kind of contact with any kind of Eurofighter pilot or mechanic, the capabilities of our Eurofighter, and they can tell you that Actually, up top speeds or maneuver speeds, these kind of things are really accurate. Our flight model indeed is not perfect, it's an SFM, but we have a roadmap now in our forum, and you can check what we are working on. So best of luck to all of you doing dogfight with the Eurofighter, and I'll see you in the skies. Bye.